In this series, I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to strip away all the complexity and hard graft and teach you how to cook amazing food standing on your head. That is amazing, incredibly tender. From the kitchen novice to the budding chef, I'm going to give you the confidence, the recipes and the insider knowledge to make you a much better cook. And that makes the fish cake nice and fragrant.
I've been cooking in professional kitchens for over 25 years.
Make sure those blades are taken out of the claw as well.
I've been taught by some of the best chefs in the world, and in turn, I've taught some of the best.
Taste it as well. Every day it changes.
Now, I'm going to show you some simple and accessible recipes for fantastic food that you can easily cook at home.
Incredible.
I'll be holding you by the hand.
It's getting tastier and tastier.
Teaching you everything from how to cook with chili and spice to baking, real fast food, and my ultimate feast recipes.
This is the only cookery course you'll ever need.
Welcome to my ultimate cookery course.
Packed with cooking tips, information, and 100 recipes to stake your life on.
Right, now it's all about stress-free cooking. Cooking dishes in advance is a brilliant way of taking the stress out of cooking at home, and many dishes just get better and better with time. First up, my amazing sticky pork ribs.
One of the secrets to great cooking is patience. Leaving dishes to marinate for 1 or 2 days helps to develop the flavour in your food, and the end result is so much more delicious. It's a method I use in the restaurants all the time. First off, get your roasting tray. Put the tray on the gas. Pork ribs, 60% meat and 35–40% fat. Give them a really good season. Salt and pepper. The nice thing about this cut, they stay incredibly moist when they're on the bone. And the longer you cook them, the more delicious they become. Just push all that seasoning in to the pork. Olive oil in. Make sure that tray's nice and hot. And I really want that nice sort of caramelisation taking place on the pork. And that's the nice thing about starting it on top of the stove. Use your roasting tray, get them coloured, and then in the oven. Putting the ribs straight in the oven, you don't get the colour. They look sort of boiled as opposed to a nice caramelised rib. Ginger. You can't beat fresh ginger with sticky pork ribs. Place it down nice and firmly and slice. The thinner you slice the ginger, the more fragrant the ribs. Garlic. And it's really important, before you add anything to those ribs, make sure you've got the colour on the ribs first. Don't rush it. Turn them over. That's what I want. That nice, crispy colour. As they sort of braise in the oven, all that colour just turns into the most amazing flavour.
Braising is just a chef's term for cooking something slowly in liquid.
Right, ginger and garlic in. Spread it around. I want all those ribs to sort of roast with the ginger and the garlic. Chili flakes. Chili flakes in. Next, Szechuan pepper. Citrusy, vibrant peppercorns. Incredible. In. Next, star anise. That gives it a really nice sort of aniseedy flavour, almost like you're roasting the ribs in fennel. In. Now we've got the heat, got the spice. I want to sweeten things up a little bit. Some fresh honey. Honey glazes the pork beautifully, counteracts against all that spice in there. But look what's happening. The colour on the ribs is extraordinary. It's like a really nice, chilly, sweet caramel. Now, soy sauce brings that little bit of sort of saltiness to it. Really generous with the soy sauce. Japanese vinegar. 2 tablespoons of vinegar in. Rice wine. It gives it that nice sort of tartness to the ribs.
If you can't find rice wine, a dry sherry is a great substitute.
300 ml. That takes out the heat of that Szechuan pepper, those dry chili flakes. Make sure they're all laid down like a nice, tight box of matches. Bring that up to the boil.
Cooking is all about learning to develop your own likes and dislikes, so always keep tasting to make sure you're happy with a combination of flavours.
It's lacking a little touch of vinegar. I want that sharpness. Now think what's going on. The tartness, the heat, the caramel, the colour on the ribs is amazing. I want a bit of a sort of oniony flavour. We'll put some spring onions in. Whilst these ribs are in the oven, the spring onions will sort of puree, but give a sharpness to the final taste of that pork. In with my spring onions. In with my stock, 400 ml of stock. This is just a simple chicken stock. The stock just sits underneath the ribs. It absorbs into the rib, and the top of the rib glazes underneath the rib. That gets crispy and rich, and that's what makes the ribs nice and moist. Really important. Into the oven.
Cook at 180 for 30 minutes. Then turn the ribs over and cook for a further 30 minutes.
Now, wow, they smell incredible. Each side has got that really nice, crispy, roasted edge. It becomes sticky and chewy and sweet, sour. The fat's disappeared and the pork just melts in your mouth. I want to take them to the next level. Gas back on. Now, shake the tray. And this is the sort of the way that we finish them in the restaurant. And for every minute they glaze in that tray, they just get to taste better and better. Now look at them. I'm so happy with those.
Ribs done. Absolutely delicious now. But if you want, you can put them in the fridge and the flavour will keep developing. Then just reheat them when you want to serve.
So, each rib has a nice slice of ginger on there. Wow, look at that. Delicious, sticky ribs with an amazing marinade.
To make my food the tastiest it can be, I always start with the best ingredients I can find. And the secret to getting the best is simple.
Knowledge is crucial. The more you know about where your ingredients come from and how they're produced, the better. So, ask lots of questions and learn.
When it comes to buying pork, you can't do any better than ask a butcher. And award-winning master butcher Danny Lidgate knows everything about the pig from trotter to tail. His family have been in the meat business for 150 years, so this man really is on the money.
In comparison with other meats, pork's really good value. You get some really good cuts at really reasonable prices. And you can use everything from the tip of the trotter down to the cheek. We can see here we've got the leg. The leg is about this region, really lean, really good for things like gammons and hams. Coming down from the leg, we've got the loin, and that's where the pork chops come from. If you take the bones out, you can bone and roll it, and you end up with a really nice, easy-to-cook cylinder of meat, really easy to carve like a loaf of bread. Coming away from the loin, we've got the belly, and you can see the belly is made up of fatty parts and meaty parts. Don't be scared of the amount of fat that's on it. You need that fat to give the flavours coming through. Also, make sure you can possibly buy it with the skin on. The skin will crispen up nicely, give you good crackling, also add flavour into the fat. Lower down from the bellies, we've got the shoulders. Really, the shoulders are a great meat. They're slightly fattier than the rest of the animal. You can see with this pork shoulder the amount of marbling you get in the muscles, the interior marbling. Make sure you look for the marbling. It's essential for the flavour, and it's going to make a really good eating experience. With a pig, there really is nothing to waste. The trotters even are really good flavour because of their gelatinous qualities, and the meat can be really, really flavoursome. Also, there's pig's cheeks, which obviously require a little bit more cooking because of the use they get, but the flavours you're going to get are going to be completely different to any other part of a pig.
Pork is an incredibly versatile meat. They say the only part you can't eat is the oink. Here's my guide to getting the best out of familiar cuts. Smoked or unsmoked bacon is not just for breakfast. It's brilliant transforming salads, gives a real depth of flavour to stews, and is delicious in quick and easy pasta dishes. The leg joint, best known for ham, also makes an inexpensive, delicious Sunday roast and is great served with peas pudding. And the tenderloin fillet, incredibly lean, healthy and fast to cook. You can stuff it, cut it into scallops or strips that are perfect for Asian stir-fries. A calm kitchen is an efficient and effective kitchen. The less stressed you are, the better the food you'll produce. So whenever you can, get ahead with your cooking.
Here are 3 of my favourite recipes that can be made beforehand and whose flavour improves over time.
First up, Moroccan lamb with sweet potato and raisin. This super simple, hassle-free recipe is cooked all in one pot. Start by browning chunks of lamb in hot olive oil. Colour and remove. Then fry onions. Season. Add chopped garlic, ground ginger and coriander. A teaspoon of whole cumin seeds, paprika and fennel seeds. A cinnamon stick, bay leaf and delicate strands of saffron. Then fry to release all the aromatic flavours. Next, add tomato puree, chunks of sweet potato and the juicy browned lamb. For a sweet note, add plump raisins. Then cover with stock and simply leave to simmer for a couple of hours. Delicious eaten straight away, but over time the flavours will develop and improve. When you're ready to serve, simply finish with fresh parsley. Minimal preparation and ready when you want it. Fantastic Moroccan lamb with sweet potato and raisin. My next super simple dish that just gets better and better with time is chili chicken with ginger and coriander. Start by chopping chicken thighs into pieces. Now on with the marinade. Chop garlic, ginger, red chili, and lemon juice. In a pan, toast coriander and cumin seeds to release their flavours, grind and add to the chicken. Then pour over plain yogurt. Add turmeric and season. Mix and leave to marinate from 2 hours to overnight. Next, fry chopped onions in olive oil. Then add chopped garlic and ginger, ground coriander, garam masala and turmeric, tomato puree and butter. Next, add the marinated chicken and all the remaining marinade and cook until tender. Finally, top with coriander. Marinated for flavour and cooked in 20 minutes. Chili chicken with ginger and coriander, a simple, stress-free wonder. Having a delicious sauce on hand to serve with simply cooked fish or meat is a brilliant stress buster. My final recipe is sweet pepper sauce with grilled prawns. For the sauce, in hot olive oil, fry chopped garlic and diced bread. Then put them in a blender. Add chopped tomatoes. Blister the skin of red peppers under a hot grill, intensifying the flavour. Leave to cool, then they're easy to peel. Chop and add. Blitz. Add smoked paprika, chili flakes, and roughly chopped almonds. A squeeze of lemon, and a dash of sherry vinegar. Season. Blitz again, and add olive oil. This sauce keeps really well in the fridge and will intensify in flavour. I love it with simple king prawns. Just add olive oil and griddle for 2 minutes on each side. Sweet pepper sauce with grilled prawns, simply delicious. Made in advance, ready when you want them. 3 stunning, simple recipes that take the stress out of the kitchen.
Beautiful.
Coming up on my guide to stress-free cooking, more great cooking tips.
The secret is sort of toasting them so it releases that oil and intensifies the spice.
Techniques to tackle the fiddly jobs.
The pin bones come out a lot easier.
And a chutney recipe to stake your life on.
And that is a gem worth prepping in advance for.
This is my ultimate cookery course, 100 recipes to stake your life on. I'll be showing you an amazing spicy chutney that's brilliant for transforming the simplest of suppers.
They don't actually smell much, but the flavour they give off is extraordinary.
But first, 5 more of my 100 tips to make your home cooking easier. Kicking off with how to skin and debone a fish the hassle-free way.
This is basically a filleted side of salmon. It's been taken off the bone and now skin off. Pick up your knife, a really nice, broad, flexible filleting knife. Little sharpen, lift up the base of the towel and then just nick a little bit at the end there. Twist the knife almost as if it's horizontally underneath the salmon. Pull the skin and you slice the salmon underneath and let the knife do the work. Now, get your skin, flip it back over and check you're not leaving too much salmon on top of the skin. Pull it back and nice and slowly get the skin, wrap it around your fingers, pull the salmon towards you and then just all the way through. Lay that down. One nicely skinned salmon, just like a perfect snake skin. Get your knife and just run the knife down and then with a pair of tweezers, these are fish tweezers, but you can use normal tweezers, look for the head, up and pull. And with the skin being removed from underneath the salmon, the pin bones come out a lot easier. And the pin bones only go to just basically halfway along the fillet. One nice fillet of salmon, beautiful.
There's still plenty of flavour in the trimmings from a filleted fish. My tip is don't waste those fish bones. Add to water, wine, a bay leaf and some chopped veg to make a simple but versatile fish stock at home, the perfect base for a delicious fish soup. A great tip for intensely flavoured stress-free veg is to steam them in their own juices. Simply add to a pan with a knob of butter and seasoning, then cook on a low heat with the lid on to lock in the moisture. Crispy roast potatoes you can depend on. My tip is to parboil them, leave them to steam dry, then sprinkle them with semolina or flour and give them a good roughing up. This ensures they go really crispy in the oven. A great tip for browning meat or fish is to dry it with kitchen roll before you cook it. Then you'll get a much better colour. Too much moisture makes the meat steam instead of sear, and you'll lose that rich brown crust like the one I got on those sticky pork ribs. Another secret to taking the stress out of cooking is to anticipate the really busy times when you'll need things to hand that are already made. My next recipe can be kept on tap in the fridge for weeks on end and is guaranteed to liven up any quick meal. Spicy chutney.
With chutney standing by in the fridge, you can always add that special little touch to a simple supper. Prove that thinking ahead always pays off. Pan on to start toasting those spices. Keep the pan nice and low. Cumin, very aromatic, very fragrant, and it's almost like a light spice. Next, nice little coriander seeds. Coriander in. Now you're gonna get a bit of heat in the chutney. Mustard seeds, a lot smaller than coriander seeds, but so much more powerful. Mustard seeds in. Now, curry leaves. They don't actually smell much dry, but the flavour they give off is extraordinary. Curry leaves in. Really important not to burn them, otherwise you'll have that bitter taste across the chutney. Keep the gas nice and low. The secret is sort of toasting them so it releases that oil and intensifies the spice. A touch of salt. And then a couple of small, powerful chilies. Keep them whole. No one's going to eat them, but it gives that real nice burst of heat. Now, let them toast gently there. We're not going to chop the onion, we're going to grate it. Why? Because it sort of breaks down to a really nice puree in the chutney when you grate it. Hold the root in the palm of your hand and just push. Nice long grates. Want those nice long shards. Look, I've almost got a nice sort of onion puree, but it's nice and clear. A touch of olive oil. Spices, nicely toasted, onions in. 3 nice cloves of garlic, lightly crush them. Lay it nice and flat, and just slice the garlic. Nice thin slices. Garlic in.
Taking your time to get the onions caramelised beautifully will really reap rewards in the long run.
tamarind paste and sugar. In with the sugar first. 3 nice tablespoons of sugar. That will give a really nice syrup effect. A sort of nice, rich, syrupy texture to the chutney. Tamarind paste.
You can get tamarind paste in most delis and the big supermarkets.
It's a really nice thickening agent, but it gives that tartness to the chutney. And it's sort of rich, sugary, spicy. Next, in with my coconut. Add 4 nice tablespoons. That will give a nice body and a really nice texture to the chutney. Cook that coconut out, and now add the carrot. Grated. The carrot just gives the chutney a really nice sort of crunch, but also helps to sort of cool down the spice. Carrots in. The water comes out of the carrot, flavours the chutney beautifully, but gives that nice sort of vibrant, bright colour to it as well. And grating it almost sort of, it cooks instantly, but I want a bit of texture through here. Turn down the gas and just let that simmer for 5 minutes. If the carrots aren't that moist and juicy, then put a couple of tablespoons of water in there to help it along. Now, just cook that out for 5 minutes. Just as those carrots start going nice and soft, don't overcook them. You want that nice texture in there. Slightly spicy, slightly sweet. Gas off. Keep those chilies in there. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's nice and gooey, delicious and ready to go in its jar as that sits in the fridge. Just gets better and better and better. I love to eat this chutney with cold meats or even cold fish, but with ham, it's amazing. It's a really nice way of livening up the ham. Just sort of roll it up. Get a nice spoon of chutney. I mean, it looks fantastic. Chutney onto the plate and serve. And that is a nice little gem in the fridge that is worth prepping in advance for.
Follow my ultimate cookery course, crammed with key lessons. Top tips and 100 recipes to stake your life on, and you'll literally be cooking yourself into a better chef. To collect selected recipes from the show, go to my scrapbook at channel4.com/Gordon. Go on, get cooking. Next time, it's all about making it easy, with more great cooking tips.
I want the chocolate like little matchsticks dotted around.
My guide to gorgeous oils,
The very best extra virgin olive oil is first cold pressed.
and my ultimate meatball recipes, guaranteed never to let you down.
All the time you're doing this, those meatballs are just getting tastier and tastier.
8 o'clock tomorrow night, when food is the cure, your ailments sorted by Grub, and you run for the food hospital. We'll come down next on 4. Can we get Gordon to stay?